Hi, everybody. This is Jerry Garrettson, Tabia Law, and happy to have you back today. Let's see where I'm at here. Let's go ahead and read this here. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called the seas, and God saw that it was good. I want to talk about um, the back to the let's see, where were we? Back to the history of immigration, and I think it's just fascinating. I know it. There's more relevant items that are today, and items that impact people in a major way, like removal, like asylum, adjustment to status, getting your green card, citizenship, business visas. I know there's a student, F1 student visas. There's a lot of different areas we can go into, but I think, and I will, but it just fascinates me going back to the history of our immigration law and really the history of this country. It's fascinating. So I'm going to go back into it, and then tomorrow we'll hit a different topic. Okay, so I picked this sheet up from the National Archives. You can go there, www.archives.gov. And let me just go ahead and read its major United States laws relating to immigration and naturalization, 1790 to 2005. Of course, our founding, our government, and Declaration of Independence was in 1776. We all know that. And we went years without a constitution. Our constitution wasn't finally ratified until 1787. And then we didn't get the Bill of Rights, which was the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, until 1791. Okay. Of course, the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights, that's where you get your First Amendment, free speech, right? Freedom of the press, freedom to assemble. Our Second Amendment, freedom to bear arms. Fourth Amendment, and right down the line, right? So the Bill of Rights were the rights primarily for the states and the people. The Constitution itself, 7 articles, lays out the framework for our government and how this country is going to be ruled as a free country, as a republic. But anyways, let's go ahead and hit some of these. Of course, our immigration stems from the Constitution, which touches briefly, just one sentence in the Constitution. Article 1, Section 8, and clause number 4 speaks to naturalization, speaks to immigration. And from there, these laws have spawned. Let me go ahead. I'm just going to read through some of these, and then we'll move forward. March 26, 1790. Of course, this is the immigration naturalization law. They just have the statutes on here. So, and we talked about this one before. 1 visit to court, 2-year residency, free white alien, children of naturalized citizens considered to be citizens. Of course, this is during the time of slavery and the evil of slavery. And so that's some of this language here, which I understand um, is not good. Yeah, but yeah. So, so I'm going to move on from that. January 29th, 1795. I'm going to skip over some of the language of good moral character, 5 years residency in 1 year in state, declaration of intention filed after 2 years, petition. So prior to 1790, right, 1776, 1790, we did have open borders, right? You come to this country, you became a citizen. And so 1790 was when is where we first started putting meat to the bone of our citizenship, of our immigration naturalization laws, right? Of course, the first law was in the Constitution, Article 1, 8, Section 8, and Clause 4. But really, it's just not much to it, right? This one sentence is very vague. So it wasn't until 1790 until we start to put meat on the bones of that law. Okay? Now, of course, today we have tons of meat, right? Tons of substance, lots of statutes, lots of cases surrounding immigration. So it's lots of it, right? And and it continues to progress and change. And so here in 1790, there's the rule was go to court one time and be here for 2 years, and then you can become a citizen. So not even a naturalized citizen. So no green card, no nothing at this point, right? No legal permanent resident. You're jumping right to citizenship. Okay. All right. So that's 1795. They went to 5 years, and then they went back to 2 years. And we talked about that in one of these sessions about what was going on in the world at that time was the French Revolution and how that ended badly, and it got real ugly, and there was massacres and very violent. And the folks in this country were nervous about that, and therefore they didn't want Frenchmen to come here and bring their violence with them and bring their crazy ideas. So what they did is they said, okay, so you have to be here for 5 years, right? Instead of 2. They want to make it harder for somebody, or specifically Frenchmen, to become citizens of this country. Okay, and then so 1798, 14-year residency. Okay, declaration of intention filed 5 years before granting of citizenship. So it went all the way up to 14 years. So it went from 2 to 5, 14. 1798, order the removal of aliens considered to be dangerous to the peace and safety of the U.S. Passenger list to be given of collector of customs. So 1798, you saw a shift. So we're starting to get some laws around immigration, and removal is introduced, which means you just folks that are undesirable, lower character, right? Character is a big theme for immigration. Were removed, were taken out of this country. Removal, which we see that today. Folks that come here illegally, and they don't go through the proper immigration channels, and so they get removed for one reason or another. And that's a whole different subject, and lots of time can be taken for that. Let me see here. Okay, so now we're at 1802, April 14th, 1802, reassertion, reasserted residency requirements of 1795. Okay, so now we went back. We went from 2 to 5, 14 years, and now back to 1795, which would be 2 years, right? Yeah, maybe 5 years. Yeah, so actually 95 would be 5 years. So it went to 2 to 5 to 14, then back to 5. 1819, passenger lot list to be given to collector of customs. So now, and we'll finish here. 1819, now the country, the government, are concerned about folks coming in. So passenger list, basically, at that time would be mostly ships. We didn't have the airplane yet or commercial travel. And so you had people coming over across the sea, basically by ship. So you had those passenger lists where they would look at the list and make a decision on who can come in and who can't come in. And again, this would be based on character and a bunch of other reasons, but primarily character. Again, that they're not, this country's always had a policy of letting the best and brightest, or the folks with means, the folks with good character, come into this country. Why? So that the country can grow and be a better country and have success. Whereas if you're bringing in folks that have a criminal background or are looking to subvert the country or to overthrow the government, right? Then that's not going to help the country move forward. That's going to bring it down. And a country full of criminals is not going to be a healthy, prosperous country. So that's the idea there. All right, I think we're done for today. And let me read this real quick. It is this here. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called the seas. And God saw that it was good. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you guys next time.